little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the carve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool. Just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 20 more, 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. My spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start. I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Port Mile party is the place we flee for the friends we see and these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Good morning and welcome back to the beach here in Sardinia, the southeast coast here for WGGMBUCC, the greatest beach. It's all happening. I'm Stefan Rapazzo here with Hannah Pendlebury, and we've got on our plate the final round of pool play. Young Legends taking on No Tsu Oh, and this one promises to give us some action. Hannah, how's your morning been? And where are your excitement levels for the day in the game?
Well, my morning thus far has been absolutely spectacular, Steph. After some inclement conditions, especially overnight yesterday, a real wild thunderstorm emerged here locally in this southern eastern tip of Sardinia. And it is beautiful conditions for playing Ultimate. Not a touch of wind, so we're going to get the best out of these two teams that we saw last year back in Portimao, and I am so excited.
The calm after last night's storm is what we're getting here. Lehman with the disc from their own end zone gets a big gainer to the near sideline, just about midfield. Hartel gets into the dump space now, puts it deep. Has a option and hits it perfectly. Great backhand huck there to open things up for the Germans. That was Kolstad with the huck. And on the receiving end, it looks to be Volker Schmidt putting one on the board for the Young Legends. Legends, of course, being the age group just above great grandmasters, 60 plus. So clever naming there, these young, as they say, legends, not quite in the oldest of old mastering categories. And we'll go on and take a few jabs at their age as this weekend goes on, but it is really only respect we have. These are true legends in the sense of what they've brought to this sport. And the fact that some of these players are still doing it really just solidifies that legendary status, Hanny.
That's true, Steph. Although amongst the pack, you do have some players at this tournament who haven't actually been playing at Ultimate for that long. So consider this your call out. If you're eligible for some of these elder divisions and you haven't played Ultimate yet, maybe you're a friend or family member of one of the players on this pitch, have a go, because there's definitely room for you here. But yeah, true icon of the sport right there, Don Fontanet putting the first pass in.
And got it from another one, and we'll get there in a bit. But There they come fourth and puts it to Lugsden. Another icon there, one of the best Canadian players that's ever laced up or played on the beach without having to lace up, but cashes that one in. And 1-1, a couple clean-looking O points to start this game off. What we'd expect, two of the teams at the top of the pool, a morning with absolute calm. They've had a day yesterday to kind of, shake the rust off, so to speak. And now these offenses should be starting games off clean. See, as the fatigue sets in as the game goes on, then you'll see a bit more defensive chance.
Well, a lovely bit of creativity there from Jaden Scullion, popping that inside backhand, leading into space. Slightly more compressed channel than the scoring for Young Legends for there. So 1 apiece thus far in this game. Just under 45 minutes left to go. But, yeah, this is going to be a heck of a game. Certainly last year, back in Portimao at the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships, it was a real interesting one for No Tsu Oh, of course, based out of Texas. No Tsu Oh, as you might have noticed, is Houston backwards. And they had some difficult losses, didn't end up quite at the top of the standings. Fell, I believe, to their fellow teammates, Team America.
Here come the German outfit, Claudia Hermeking, a mother of 2 bright stars in the junior divisions. She's still doing it here. Kolstad swings far side. Schönberg gets it up the line. Hartel with the disc. Wide and around. Hermeking. Hermeking gets a short gainer there. Kolstad, he wound up last time. This time, chucks a wobbler. That one slips off the fingers. And No Tsu Oh will have a chance to break early in this game.
Yeah, really solid switching there from No Tsu Oh. They were very intelligent, trying to deny the first and kind of A options for Young Legends, but they didn't manage to realize that and exploit the poachers.
First under comes No Tsu Oh. That's Fuzat. Now gone deep, but overshoots, looking for Kimberly Beach. And that one with a bit too much on it.
I love watching people with proper nominative determinism ultimate names. And certainly Beach is a great surname. No relation, though, we believe, to Rocky Beach.
No, none that we know of. Oh, nice bid there, but the under sticks. And now the gainer, that looks good. That's going to work. Kolstad trying to isolate, but more defenders than attacking members, and forces the around instead of waiting. There is still a foul on it, and it's accepted.
Yeah, second time here that I think Young Legends just need to look around. Look at the fact that they have 3 players in front of them in the opposite colour. Someone's poached, and it's Claudia Hermeking.
And Hermeking being asked to take the open space, but then the defense comes straight back into the hands of Kolstad from Hermeking. And the Young Legends, despite giving a break opportunity, managed to get that dirty hold.
Well, a solid one in the end when they did indeed realise that there were poachers available to be exploited. And solid scenes. Our first turnovers thus far of the game. I have a feeling we're not going to see many, especially when we compare and contrast the weather conditions. This is going to be, according to the current weather forecast anyway, Steph, the finest day of the championship. Sunshine, a little bit of scattered cloud here and there, but it is a warm day and much cooler, much less humid than it was yesterday due to that storm overnight. So just clearing the air. See fourth there on the far right-hand sideline. A former representative for Great Britain living over in Texas. One of the 2, of course, fourth twins, Katie and Bex. But Katie's been part of GB Beach programs for quite some seasons. I do believe was part of the squad that went to Royan back in 2017, and certainly Dubai.
Exciting stuff. The globe trotting that goes on in this sport to get your burn, get your play in, up your skills, play with different people is pretty fun stuff as we get our Eurodisc best perspective drone shot in. Have a look at the scenes here in Sardinia. Wind up, comes under. Scullion finds McCall, and then the underneath comes back to Scullion.
Yeah, Logan getting a bit caught up in the traffic there. Just getting up so he can be ready, but the rapid feet of McCall have still given him some distance away.
Lugsden had some space on the break side there, was looking for it, but finds the open side there. Don Tom collects the goal, and No Tsu Oh cash in the second one. Another clean hold for the Yanks.
Yeah, a nice catch there for Don Tom. Nice and easy, just on that far front cone. Hailing currently from Houston, Texas, but originally a Claremont man. He's been playing for 34, and this is important note, continuous years. Hasn't taken any career breaks by the sounds of it, but originally from Carleton College back in 1989. Has been playing for the USA across the various age divisions, but I have to say some of these athletes in this division, Steph, really don't look like they should be age eligible yet for the Great Grandmasters age bracket, of course 48 plus.
Yeah, they are looking the goods out there. A lot of fine-tuned athletes that, yes, it is hard to believe that they meet the age requirements to play. Here come the young legends. Straub. Kolstad winds up the backhand, and there is a collision at the midfield. Swings wide, Straub, Lilo Straub. Centers, Kolstad. There's the under. Vidal sends deep, great looking throw, but just off the hands. Can't get the squeeze. And that's going to count as a turnover, but I like the option.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because it's a really nice shot, hitting that break side over the top of the mark, exploiting the height mismatch. And Volker Schmidt is not somebody who is going to miss too many of those. Been playing for 40 years, 4 solid decades of Ultimate as the Munich man.
Here comes the break chance. No Tsu Oh coming at him. Klaus. Cesario. Gets another under. Butler. KBZ. He fires the dump. And now back to Cesario. Klaus. Hawk. And back to Butler again. Patience in with this break chance thus far. Klaus throws the body around to pick up a two-hander. Fakes the flick around with the backhand, still not in. KBZ. Butler finds the open receiver. Laurie Groman cashes in. The 50-year-old from Athens, Ohio, with the goal for the Houstonites.
Well, that was a little bit scrappy, but I enjoyed watching that D point and the conversion from No Tsu Oh. We would expect them to take some breaks here in this game. Their goal difference thus far in the pool stages has been a wee bit more impressive, and it's moments and misses like those that are going to be costly for young legends at the top end of this championship, where we expect them to finish off. Another look at that big layout to just redeem possession. Really great effort being put in from John Klaus. And indeed, KBZ, as we referred to him, had a little chat on the sideline ahead of this game with Kent Butler. Big shout outs to all of the Ohio University athletes that he coaches. Says he was, he just really enjoys coaching and giving back to the community in that fashion. And as someone who's known for encouraging players to train in inclement weather to get better at Ultimate, but I have to say there's nothing inclement about the conditions today, Steph. It is still an absolutely picture-perfect day for Ultimate. If only there was a slight more breeze to show off some, I think, of the throwing skills here, but we're getting a real display.
Yeah, it is still the water crystal clear, flat surface tension. It's quite an incredible day here in Sardinia. Happy to report that much. There's a nice bid, two-hand takeaway, a discussion about a strip, and the discussion, Fiore guy is happy enough to give it back after making the athletic play there. So it will stay in the hands of the young legends. Logan. Logan looked to go right away, instead finds center. Hammer comes up, Lehman right into the hands, but there must be a pick there because he was suspiciously open.
Yep, Klaus Schunk, or Pirelli, as he's known back in Germany, across the Ultimate scene.
Schunk into the dump space. Gets Inga Moreau. Moreau opens things up with an OI flick on the money. Inga Moreau. That one counts for a goal. Still trying to identify that receiver there. Looks like the #1 shirt of Klaus Schunk.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous roll curve flick there from Inga Moreau. Sees the space really well. I think that's probably the credit of this Young Legends team so far, is they are throwing into very dangerous spaces if you're a defender, but very nice spaces for their own offense. Just great vision and a proper throw the player open one here. Sees that maybe they aren't expecting that, but No Tsu Oh will become wise to that kind of action and will be ready and poised for it. Maybe some flat-footedness at the back of the stack from the defense.
So it is all knotted up. It's 3 apiece, but there is still a break in that back pocket. The second half will start with a No Tsu Oh pull reception, which gives them the slight advantage at this stage of the game.
And it will make that one break of score that they currently lead a little bit more obvious.
Fontanet to Lugston. Wow, that is one heck of a set of names to kick off your offensive attack in a great Grandmasters division. Fourth comes under. Nice high release backhand from McCall. McCall gives and gets it again. That one out of the hands of Scullion and right in to Lugsden. The No Tsu Oh offense is looking like a fine-tuned machine right now.
Yeah, and extraordinarily rapid. I mean, the pace with which they just converted that one, the ease that they're moving across the sand, it is a thing of beauty to behold. And of course, they have a really highly decorated offensive line. That's a second assist of the game, I do believe, for Sean McCall. A double wide and hounds player. And was very pleased. In fact, his career highlight so far was grabbing the USA mixed title with his wife Katie on No Tsu Oh back in 2022, back in the States. And coaches the US women's national team, to Sean McCall. But that's a long shot of another beach icon. Of course, the one and only Ru Feitel, part of a certain Sexpensive team. I wonder if he's wearing a thong underneath those white shirts.
I would imagine. I think it's compulsory, no?
Well, I certainly enjoyed watching him boogie many seasons in a row back at Copenhagen, which was a companion beach tournament to Rimini's Paganello.
Here come the young legends. Vital gets that one spun around. Schmidt, and now the big shot comes off. It's not going to come back. Shunk had a good look, had the separation, but just didn't get enough in after that outside.
Yeah, there was a potential opportunity for Inga Moro to perhaps make a layout greatest, but I think with the pace of the disc and how far it was, just ran out of ideas.
Yeah, and I think even if so, that would have to come back in 15, 20 meters before the next trailing attacker would have had any chance.
Well, it's
but
beach
always
and there's
worth
no wind.
Yes.
So.
Oh. Violation called there. That one was not tapped in yet. Groman saw the spot, wound up and threw the hammer, but they were still trying to work out where the disc was meant to be coming in. Groman, no argument. It was a nice hammer, but I guess a little bit of a mark might have changed the potential, at least the vision.
Well, a mark on either of the players, I think, probably would have made a bit of difference there, but we'll roll back the tape.
There goes Groman, goes for the more conventional and conservative dump. Now the under comes. That's Mr. Butler. Butler, he gets Klaus, and Klaus swings to the far side. Now back to Koch. Koch, but that one runs out of room and sails out of bounds. He was looking for Laurie Gorman, a rare break chance for the young legends.
No. It will be. That's both of the female matching players in this loose mixed division being overthrown by their male counterparts.
Correct. A second hold chance. First under from Shunk. He makes a nice catch. Now Schomburg. And that one gets knocked away. And Cesario rushes to the disc to try and capitalize and turn this into an actual break chance. And it is. Steve Quach throws the goal. And No Tsu Oh break again. That makes it 5-3.
And was that Klaus that got the goal in the end? It does look like it. So he did indeed get to score that break after the initial one being called back for the violation. But I enjoyed watching some pretty feisty defense to Vital with a near miss on a layout block attempt. They did indeed get the disc back, but that was thrown to straight up coverage. Christian Lang wasn't really open on that underneath throw. Real trust ball going up, but this Houston defense is playing very, very intensely. Second break of the game, in contrast to the first, wasn't completely clean, but only took the second attempt. And Young Legends need to just be a bit more conservative, I think. They have resets available. They can swing the disc more. They just need to be a bit more active, close to the disc, and wait for their opportunities, because they do have them every so often. That you'd expect so far from the points difference between these two teams. Currently plus 17 for No Tsu Oh, plus 13 for Young Legends. So we are getting a tight game as we expected.
Young Legends kicking things off. Lehman. Sorry, that was Kolstad who kicks things off. There's a nice under into traffic. A pick called, I think, wisely so. There was a lot of converging traffic as Ingo Hartel came in and handled that one.
Yeah, Hartel could easily just stay where she is and remain a little bit poached off by Beach.
Straub comes under, back to Hartel. Now swings wide. Felgner. Felgner gets a gainer. That's Kolstadt. Now for goal. Strub is there. And the young legends get a clean hold after giving up a break.
Well, a good way to steady the ship. Stuber just attacking that front cone. There have been some pretty slick and efficient offenses that we've seen so far in this game. That one had a brief stoppage, so felt a little bit longer. I think if that had just been played all the way through without that pick, it would have all been fine. Still pressure being put on by the defense, though, from No Tsu Oh. You can see a little bit of nerves, perhaps, in Young Legends. Some of their throws are going a little bit low. They're having to kind of scramble around in the dust to make sure they can keep possession, but they are with their necks just above the waterline. But, of course, No Tsu Oh will start the second half on offense, so we'll have that advantage. Just over half of the time expired in this game. 45 minutes and 13 points cap. Well, I don't think we're going to get this one go all the way to 13 maybe, Steph, but then again, can the offensive possessions get any quicker and slicker?
That one lands. It does roll out the back line. Fontanet will have to bring that up to the goal line where it went out. So a pace or two towards the center if she wanted it, but she seems to just walk direct line to the goal.
Yeah, not many out of bounds pulls so far in this game.
Fontanet, Lugston clears, gave a break option, and now gives that dump option coming all the way around. Lugston pops one over the head. Now through, that's Scullion. Scullion gets a gainer, but the bid can't pick it up. Nice bid by Don Tom, but no disc in hand. Now a legit break chance, except Fontanet says no. Steps in front and takes it away. Zormeyer there, not able to receive. Now Don Tom turns, whips one. That one picked up. Scullion twists his body around as he goes to ground and has a would-be goal, but there's still discussion. I think they must be talking about that boundary line and what part of his body hit first.
Well, on the tape is out. Under the tape, though.
Here's another look.
Yeah, a little bit of... I learned something this tournament, Steph, as we get another look at that Fontanet throw.
And there's the Don Tom throw.
Ooh, that knee does look good, doesn't it?
You think good? I think he was hitting tape there with the knee. Tough. It's a tough one. Any way you slice it. They've given the goal, and that's what matters on the field. They resolve all this stuff.
But the thing I learned, so I was listening in on the captain's discussion at the beginning of this championship, and so a slight difference to the rules of in and out and bounds and the lines, because obviously we have tape over the sand for most of our beach ultimate pitches. So you are allowed to have your foot under the tape. If you sort of land in bounds and then end up with your foot sort of, you know, dragging the tape with you, that is okay. You're allowed to do that. On the line is not out in that scenario. However, if you end up with your being able to see your toes underneath the line because you haven't sort of dragged it with your momentum, you've just sort of stubbed your toes underneath, that doesn't count as in bounds.
No goal. No completion.
Yes, if you can see your toes, no goes. If you can't see your toes, then you're fine. We need to come up with better
Advantage if your toes and complexion are the exact same color of the sand you're playing on then. I couldn't see them. They're camouflaged.
Just wet your feet enough and coat yourself, so then you can't see your toes anyway. You're like some sort of weird sandfish that's hiding. Well, this for No Tsu Oh to try and take half on a break, Steph.
That lands and rolls in the back of the end zone. Hermiking puts it into play. Kolstadt. Now into the 69 shirt of Schmidt. Back Harmaking and Kolstad. Big shot comes out of the hands of Hartel, but too much on it. And that gives Houston another chance.
Yeah, you could see the way when he released that. It just looked a little bit loose, untidy throwing form. Again, asking for a big reception in the end zone from Volkerschmidt, who hasn't been picture perfect this fine Sardinian morning. Perhaps he needs a little bit of recalibration.
I find gelato's really good for recalibrating while in Sardinia. There's a nice under from Groman. That's hit now, sent deep. Is it too far, or will we get him in? Great play there. John Klaus chucks the body. 2 hands on it. Didn't even need full extension, but probably did need that layout. It was just high enough and makes a spectacular play on a great leading throw.
Yep, uses every inch of that 6'1" frame to make the layout clap catch. Difficult to land those ones, especially on a beach. Oftentimes you see kind of coaches saying, no, rather than going for the clap catch where you can end up with your arms crookedly under yourself, you should go sort of more for a claw catch or one hand and pull your wrists back round the right way so you don't clutter them too. But nicely spaced out in front, did have the time to run it down. I really enjoyed the little bit of soft defense that was played by Laurie Groman in that point, though. Clearly being given a mandate of, hey, when your player doesn't have the disc, maybe just poach off and sag into that lane, confuse the space a little bit. Didn't cause the intended problems upfield. I think it was just a poor choice, really. Same third throw to try and connect with Volkerschmidt that gave that turnover. But Young Legends could do something different here, perhaps. I mean, coming out and denying the buy one, get one free for the second half could be a real momentum changer.
This is where the advantage would be. Denial, yes, indeed. That would be the spark, Hannah. That would be the advantage denial. And No Tsu Oh not with their traditional O-line on the field to start this point. Maybe they're comfortable enough with their lead. They're going to use a bit more of the roster.
Yeah, try and get those reps ready for the championship, the pointy end of the bracket, although we still have the pound of flower pools to come.
Here we go. First inbound looks good from Laverty, and no dice on the spoiler. That one, nice long shot to Fioraguy, and No Tsu Oh not going to be unraveled. They hold their advantage from the half. Timeout taken by Young Legends right after, and that makes it 8-4. It's a double up for the Houstonites.
And our first timeout being called of the entire game, which means that neither team used their timeouts in the earlier stages. But that was a really beautiful throw. Completely free was Mark Fioraguy, of course, formerly of Chicago Machine.
And we'll be right back after this short break while they take a timeout. Don't you go anywhere.
For the first time ever, from the golden sandy blankets of Portimao, Portugal, ULA and ULTI.TV bring you the World Beach Ultimate Club Championship 2024. The best club teams in the world will converge on the Portuguese Algarve. With expectations for upwards of 150 teams, this promises to be a tournament worth bucket listing. Whether on the sands or watching the action from your screen, WBUCC 2024 is a tournament not to be missed.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it. capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
And back from the break, quick timeouts there. Young Legends trying to figure out what they got to do to, quite simply, hold their chances, evade what these defenses are doing, this Houston defense is doing, No Tsu Oh defense is doing, and just tidy things up. They've done it. They've got 4 times they have managed, but there is some freewheeling athleticism opposing them on this No Tsu Oh side. It's got to be said that they are moving at a quicker pace out there across the board.
I think also it has to be said that perhaps Young Legends, I mean, they had some fantastic victories, 13-6 over West Coast and 11-5 over Mountain Beaches. I think this game is a bit of a wake-up call for this German club side. They are not getting the easy options. They need to look a little bit more at just resetting a couple of extra times. They have the opportunities. They just have to be a little bit more patient and realise that there is really good defence being played against them.
And here's another look at that defense. No options. Kolstad goes into Struba. Struba sends, and the defense was coming, but good thing for the big frame of Volker Schmidt to take that one away high. But now back to No Tsu Oh. They're going the other way. Quick shot for goal. Nice bid to finish things off. That's Kent Butler. K. Beasy solidifies the break with the layout. Needs a little bit of assistance getting back to his feet there, but no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, that turnover happened so quickly. A little bit of conservation of greatness. You can understand from the redemption play exactly why Volker Schmidt is thrown to so frequently in the deep space. But really nice bit of throw and go action from Baker. The old shake and bake, as you might say, but Groman with a perfectly weighted disc. And another break goes on the board for No Tsu Oh. Laurie Groman, so you already mentioned, Athens, Ohio player. There's plenty of the Surly team that, of course, we saw go on to win in Limerick last season, representing here on the Sounds for No Tsu Oh. And nice to see also. So yesterday we mentioned in the Flash game, Steph, about how one of the players had been inspired and exposed to the sport by the World Championship coverage back in 1994 of the Colchester World Championships of Ultimate. In fact, Katie Forth, playing for No Tsu Oh, not presently on the pitch. Oh no, she is, I take it back. In fact, she was also inspired by exactly the same tournament back in 1994. Just goes to show, folks, ultimate coverage can expose this sport to new athletes, world-class athletes.
Let's get more of that. We'll tell you ways after this possession. Here's Vital, and he sends to the sideline. Logan gets it to the wide side. Zormaier goes for goal and cashes in. Nice finish there by Inga Moreau, but the throw was really the champion of that point. Beautiful weighted throw by Sandra Zormaier. And the Young Legends keep it to a Dolly Parton kind of chant here. What a way to make a living, working 9 to 5, Hanny.
And working with 2 female matching athletes on the line. We love to see it. Of course, loose mixed is the format here. You're required to have 3 female matching athletes rostered at the very least. And No Tsu Oh also matching up, choosing to play the gender matches across the field. So Don Fontanet and Casey Forth on the line there for the defense. And another break of score. So I could take it back, not a break of score. That was a hold, of course. It was a female matching connection, and over the fantastic disc from Zormaier. But of course, that is, yeah, we hope one day very soon, to see a true full mixed format here at the Great Grandmasters level. Because mixed, of course, is the pinnacle of ultimate. It's what's played at the World Games, what would be played if it, maybe makes its way into the Olympics at some point. And it's just a real interesting feature. Any co-ed sport, it does encourage certain people to start playing. That's how a lot of athletes, how they make their way onto the fields. They hear that there are opportunities to play alongside all kinds of different athletes. But yeah, we love a bit of mixed.
Mix things up. It's the exciting stuff, and it's even better on the beach. It's even better in the Masters divisions, by my humble opinion.
Well, both of us are levels of Masters eligible in the booth.
Fusat centers that one. Ganzel gets it back. Inside flick. Chops up right through to Fusat and moved on. Fjorguy. Fjorguy, no options. Throws high, but there was contact before the throw went up. Ganzel and Kolstad banging into each other there.
Yeah, I think Kolstad saying there was a bit too much pushing and touching to try and get himself free after Kolstad had closed the door with some excellent positioning. Oh, uncontested. So accepted foul.
Fjorguy with the disc. Looks for the end zone first. Now, second chance. That just visionary shot there. Did not have much room, but used it well and curved it around the defender with not much room to spare. Trying to get a look at the number on the back of that shirt of the gold scorer.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. I'm not sure exactly where the force was supposed to be. Looked very flat to try and put plenty of pressure on Fjorguy. But at the end of the day, it was just a nice understanding of the face marking going on. And Tim Laverty gets a relatively easy goal, which is surprising considering who his matchup was. I think he had Hertel on him. Actually, no, I take that back. It's not Hertel. Across the field. Another of these gorgeous blonde male matching players for Young Legends. It was Peter Staffenson, or Hager. Of course, all of the ultimate athletes we cover are gorgeous inside and out.
Ultimate makes that happen.
It's genuinely a thing. I think when I grow up, I want to be a great Grandmasters beach player because it definitely keeps you in fine fettle.
Here come the Young Legends. Schmidt gets it over to Shunk. Moreau comes under, but can't hang on to that one. Cuts her up a little bit. Now Groman picks up and keeps it moving. Quach. And that's going to go back into the hands of Katie Forth. Disc is tapped in by the Sands and Katie Forth, working in unison. Hawk has wide open receiver in Groman, but overshoots her, puts it over the head. And we're going to get another chance for the Young Legends to hold here after Hawk puts too much into the huck. Now the Young Legends, Inga Moreau. She moves it on to Zormeyer. Zormeyer running out of options. Sends a big one, but it might just work just beyond the hands of Peter Lulgen. But not a bad option with the stall count rising like that.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fabulous shot to throw on stall 9, just about an inch away from the receiver's hand.
Forth wide open coming under. Now she gets a gainer. That one in to Hawk, and now bounces off the sideline from Klaus. Hawk to Forth. Travel called and from the sideline. They got the sniffer dogs out to check footprints.
Well, they say take only memories, leave only footprints, especially on the beach here. I've spotted at the airport, Steph. If you take any of the sand or the seashells away, you can be fined, I think, something in the region of €2,000.
Oh, I thought it was $10. Groman with the disc. Don't take anything home. Except pictures. Take pictures.
And memories.
Memories. Quatch. Gets that one centered into Hawk. Hawk to fourth, back to Hawk. Johnny Hawk gets Groman. Groman leads fourth. Beautiful throw by Groman. That one on point as No Tsu Oh stretch the lead 11-5 and are pushing away. Only a few minutes remain. 2, in fact, exactly before we're going to hear the horn. So some high likelihood that the time will expire over the course of the next point.
Well, a nice grab there for fourth. You see her initiating that offense after the stoppage. And the two female matching athletes for No Tsu Oh connecting beautifully. A slightly risky biscuit because Inga Moreau was quite tight, but just sailed over her reaching fingertips and connected with fourth. Who were, fun facts, at one point she had coached or guest coached every single university team in the state of Texas, including all of the men's and women's programs. Of course, in the States they call it men's. Everywhere else in the world calls it open.
US like to do things uniquely like that.
Although there's more convergence year on year. I quite like the terminology myself of open, but that's just my preference.
Young legends working it up. Sideline to sideline. Hermiking gets one in. Hartel. That one to Felkner. And then back into the hands of Schmidt. Schmidt back to Hermiking. A look off on the sideline caused some hands aloft in wonder. And now Schmidt sends deep. Hartel's under it. He collects, and that's one way of doing it when the defense gets stingy. Check the deep space. They did it there. A nice throw has them collecting. Time expires after the point scores. So I believe we finish this upcoming point, and then we will be adding one.
That would indeed be correct by virtue of how the rules go in this championship format. So we could well get a game to 13 still. But that was a really lovely bit of creativity. And returning to the form we saw in the early stages of this game, the confident young legends offensive sort of just throwing themselves open a little bit. Slightly risky shot, but it pays off some dividends for Hertel. Berliner, a doctor and philosopher working for the Federal Ministry of Health back home. It's been part of a couple of teams. And one of our favourites, not that we have favourites really, but Wall City Berlin. Of course, big shout out to them for actually having a crew member on staff who'll be representing at EUCF, the lovely Yoel.
Yoel Ben Joseph. Love having him as part of the ULTI.TV team, and love watching him and his Wall City teammates get it done as they did in their regional qualification, going undefeated through that one, taking the top berth.
Indeed. And a big shout out also to Ingo Hartel's son Edward, who plays for the University of Toronto, and Oscar, who just got admitted to the Cologne High School of Sports.
U of T, do you know what their ultimate team's called? University of Toronto? Tarantula.
Ooh, that's a fantastic name. Bit of wordplay. Is their theme song Tarantula by Pendulum?
I would hope so, but that much I cannot confirm.
Should be.
Lugston with the disc gets that under Don Tom. Bit of contact to no effect. Fourth comes under strong. Hands, 2 of them on that one. Fourth looks to lead. Now goes center, finds just enough space in the middle. And the next throw, Fontenette makes a nice catch, and it is in for goal. Tidy enough with her footwork there. The throw from McCall, and it will be a game to 13. A big ask now for Young Legends. 6 game points available for No Tsu Oh. The first would have to be a break.
Well, at long last, Fontenette gets a stat on her tally for a goal in this game. 2 blocks so far she's been credited with, but that was indeed exceptional footwork. Didn't even necessarily realise until I think the defender, Sormeyer, had said that was actually a goal. Fantastic work.
Yeah, you just scored on me.
But talking about stats, it's been a pretty well-distributed affair for No Tsu Oh. Laurie Groman has her head and shoulders above, though. 1 goal and 3 assists, been throwing some absolute dimes. And similar scenes for Young Legends. The only player to have really made too much of a noticeable impact on the stats board as an individual would be the 71 Tim Kolstadt, who just threw that swing pass.
And let's see if they can swing their way into the end zone. No, not on this asking. Pick up a break, could win the game here. Johnny Hawk looks over to K. Beasy, Mr. Kent Butler. Butler goes forward there. He's got Klaus. Klaus puts one over the shoulder and gets Cesario. Cesario into the dump space. Johnny Hawk. Hawk wants to go inside every time, but he goes back to Cesario and now to Butler. No Tsu Oh going backwards here.
Really enjoy watching Butler, KBZ, following his passes. He'll reset the disc and then immediately streak up line, which is so dynamic and so deadly on beach.
Cesario to Butler. Butler straight back to Cesario. All sorts of space for Butler now. Butler throws low, but gets a pickup there. Hawk chucks the body around. Looks like, have we got a timeout on the field? We do have a timeout. Short break here. They want to make sure this will be the game. We're going to take a short break too, and we'll be back to see if this comes to a conclusion as quick as Houston wants it to.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
So back on the beach, No Tsu Oh took that timeout. They wanted to isolate, reset, spread things out. They've got 2 in the end zone, 2 flanked. And a goal here if Hawk can convert, or if the team can. Cesario takes the up line. Everybody else clears. That one's in. That is the match. No Tsu Oh take it 13-6 and really walk away with this one in the end, Hannah.
Yeah, really determined performance. They got 3 breaks in the first and in the second half. Did No Tsu Oh, a really composed performance. I think probably, I said it earlier, Young Legends hadn't faced that strength of opposition yet. This was a game that I think will sharpen them as we head into the secondary power pool, as we've been calling them, flower pool stages. Of course, the 2 top seeds playing the 2 bottom seeds respectively, just swapping around the pools a little bit. Power Pool F is where No Tsu Oh and Young Legends will end up. But to talk a little bit about the stats of this game, a very impressive performance by No Tsu Oh on D. They had 7 of the 12 D points they played. They got opportunities to get a goal in, and their conversion rate, 85% when they had the disc on their defensive offense, as you could say. It's a weird way of saying it, but going in, they will be playing against the bottom 2 seeds of Pool B. Well, these 2 teams in front of us. But who do we have next up on our live stream, Steph?
Next up, we've got ourselves Sweden versus Switzerland, West Coast versus Mountain Beachers. And that's coming up very soon, so we're going to get ourselves out of here before we get ourselves back in. Thanks for joining us. For Hannah Pendlebury, I've been Stefan Rapazzo here on ULTI.TV, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.